everyone, Hemant Chaudhary this side. Today in this video I am going to discuss on a very important judgment that has been passed by the Calcutta High Court on 21st June 2021. The name of the case is Nitai Ghosh and another versus State of West Bengal. The facts of the case are that on 5th of August 2011, the complainant has lodged a complaint in the police station in which he mentioned that the marriage of his daughter got solemnized with the appellant number 1 on 20th June 2011. He also mentioned in the complaint that he gave some presents to the daughter in the marriage as per his financial capacity. And he also mentioned that the de facto complainant will give a gold chain within the 6 months of the marriage. But after a few days of the marriage, the appellant number 1, that is the husband of the deceased, and the appellant number 2, who was the mother-in-law of the deceased, and the appellant number 3, who was the husband of the sister of the appellant number 1. They all used to treat the deceased daughter of the de facto complainant very badly by using the filthy language. And sometimes it is also mentioned in the complaint that sometimes the appellant number 1 used to treat the deceased with the cruelty and assault, and used to assault her physically. And the daughter of the de facto complainant used to convey the same to her parents and the other paternal relatives as well. Thereafter, on 4th of August 2011, the de facto complainant got to know about that the daughter of the de facto complainant has consumed the poison, due to which she had got died as she was unable to bear the torture that was inflicted upon her by the appellants. On the basis of the complaint given by the de facto complainant, the police lodged an FIR against the accused persons under section 498A, 304B and 34 of the Indian Penal Code, and along with the section 3 and 4 of the Dowry Prohibition Act. And on the completion of the investigation, the police submitted the charge sheet before the magistrate court, which has committed the case to the session judge, and thereafter he transferred the case to the additional session judge. The learned trial judge framed the charges against the accused persons under section 498A and 304B of the Indian Penal Code, to which the accused persons specifically denied and did not plead guilty. The accused persons specifically denied the case, and it was stated by the appellant number 1 that the appellant number 1 used to work in the printing press in Kolkata, and he used to visit his native village only in the weekend. And it was also stated by the appellant number 1 that the relation between him and the deceased wife were quite cordial, and there was no such occasion that the husband, that is the appellant number 1, used to treat her with cruelty within the meaning of section 498A of the Indian Penal Code. The accused persons also took the defense that the deceased wife of the appellant number 1 had some illicit relations with the husband of her sister, and she was also a ill-tempered lady. After completing all the legal formalities, the learned trial judge had held the appellants guilty under section 498A and 304B of the Indian Penal Code. So against the order or the judgment passed by the learned trial judge, the appellants had filed an appeal under section 374 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 before the Calcutta High Court for setting aside such judgment. In the appeal, the appellants relied on the ground that, as per the FIR lodged by the de facto complainant, there was no such mention by the de facto complainant that the appellants ever demanded for the dowry. And the another ground was that the presents given by the de facto complainant in the marriage was as per his own will and as per his own financial capacity, and he himself agreed that he will give a gold chain within the 6 months of the marriage. And the counsel for the appellant has also contended that these presents given by the de facto complainant would not come under the definition of the dowry, as these were given as per his own will and out of love and affection. The counsel on behalf of the appellant also contended that after examining the prosecution witnesses, it has been ascertained that all the prosecution witnesses stated that the deceased was amounted to cruelty, and there was a demand of dowry. And it was also contended by the appellant that the de facto complainant and the other relatives who were close to the deceased never ever thought to visit the matrimonial house of the deceased to settle the dispute. And it was also contended that the defense has examined 4 neighboring persons who stated on oath that The relation between the Netai, that is the appellant number 1, and the deceased was cordial. They never saw the appellant number 1 assaulting the deceased person, and they never saw any disputes between the deceased and the appellant number 1. And thereafter, the learned advocate of the appellant has also invited the attention of the court that to consider the cross examination of the de facto complainant, where he admitted that his deceased daughter was ill tempered in itself, as the same was agreed and admitted by the de facto complainant itself in the court. However, on the other hand, the learned advocate for the state has contended that in most of the matrimonial cases, the incidents happening between the married wife and the husband are only known to the close relatives of the lady and her husband only, and such harassment is generally committed in complete secrecy only. However, it is also contended by the state that the wife of the appellant died in unnatural circumstances at her matrimonial house with only after the 44 days of the marriage, and the father of the deceased is a cultivator, and it was not possible for him to satisfy the demand of gold chain by the side of the groom at the time of the marriage. It was also contended by the learned advocate of the state that the father of the deceased is a cultivator, and it was not possible for him to satisfy the demand of the gold chain made by the bridegroom at the time of the marriage. And the accused person, however, was not agreeable to wait for the 6 months, and immediately after the marriage they started torturing the petitioner both mentally and physically on the demand of the gold of chain. And failing to bear such torture, the wife of the appellant number 1 committed the suicide by consuming the poison. And with regard to the question of the sentence under section 304B of IPC, it was contended by the learned advocate of the state that the victim died due to the unnatural circumstances and also within the 1.5 year of the marriage, and soon before her death she was subjected to the physical and the mental torture on the demand of the dowry. For the reasons stated by the learned counsel of the state, it is contended by the learned counsel of the state that there is no scope of interference and the instant appeal should fail. In the judgment, it was observed by the Honorable Calcutta High Court that the de facto complainant did not state in the FIR as well as in the course of his evidence that the accused persons had demanded for the dowry during or after the marriage, and thus the presents given by the de facto complainant and the other relatives during the marriage would not fall into the definition or the ambit of the definition of the dowry under the Dowry Prohibition Act. And thus it was observed by the court that the presents given by the de facto complainant were totally voluntary in nature and as per the financial capacity of the de facto complainant, hence it will not come under the definition or the ambit of the dowry under the Dowry Prohibition Act. And it was also observed by the judges that there is no absolute evidence that prior to her death the witnesses had ever tried to reach the matrimonial house to settle the matrimonial disputes between the appellant number 1 and the deceased person. And it is also very well concluded from the evidence that the deceased was ill-tempered. After concluding all the proceedings, the learned Calcutta High Court had decided to hold out the judgment that has been passed by the learned trial judge, and has also decided that the sentence passed by the learned trial judge has also been liable to set aside, and hence the Calcutta High Court has allowed the appeal without any cost. And at the last, it was held by the Calcutta High Court that the voluntarily given gifts to the bride and the bridegroom will not come under the category of dowry. So that was all about the judgment, and I hope you must have learned something from this. Please do like my video if you found it informative, and thank you for watching.